Welcome to Benny's Beat, the show where we learn all about the people who run the city, from all the glamour and glory to the gritty, behind-the-scenes action. Today, we have with us our local mayor, Mayor Provenzano. The title of mayor, it strikes awe into all who hear the term, and we know that that the mayor is a bigwig, the top dog of the entire civil administration. But beyond that, how much of us truly know the roles and responsibilities of a mayor? So, Mr. Provenzano, would you care to fill us in on that?
Well, listen, let me thank you for giving me the chance to meet with you today, Benny. It's great.
Thank you.
I've really loved seeing you around City Hall, and you're bringing a great energy here, and I think your show is awesome. So I think, is the question, like, what's the role of the mayor, generally speaking? I think I have two roles. And speaking very generally, the first role I have is as the head of council. So in that role, I'm responsible for making sure that the discussion and debate at council is in accord with the agenda. I'm part of setting the agenda. But then when council makes a decision, it's my responsibility to make sure that city staff carries through on those decisions. So that role as the head of council has a role at council to run the meetings, but also has a role inside City Hall working with the staff. So I'm here every day. So not like all the councilors. The councilors are serve on a part-time basis. I serve this job on a full-time basis, and I'm in City Hall all day. So I work with the city staff to make sure that the governance body, its direction, is followed. In addition to that, as mayor, I represent the city. And so I have a responsibility to represent the city at large, and I do that at functions. I do that when I attend other communities, and I speak for the city on behalf of the city, so I really enjoy that.
All right. Well, that's quite interesting. I heard you mention some of the city councilors there. What are some intriguing things you women and gentlemen are working on right now that our viewers at home would be interested in, or is it confidential?
No, listen, I think that the vast majority of what we do is public. People see that every 2 weeks when they watch our city council meetings. There's some really interesting things going on. I think Councillor Christian had a great initiative with the Sioux Summit, which we're hoping happens in the spring, and we're looking to get together with a lot of expatriate Siouxites and talk to them about their community and bring them up to speed with what we're doing. And you see some really good initiatives coming. Councillor Shoemaker had a great initiative where he wanted to make a bid for the Amazon project, big bid. And council followed through on that, supported that. We did some great work there. You also see we're doing some work on the Noront project, and that will come to pass. The submitting for the project will come to pass next year. But these things are, what you have to do as a mayor and council is you have to make good decisions and put lots of irons in the fire. Lots of times things don't work out within your term. That's why you have to be really active and make things happen, because they'll pay off down the road. So that's some of what you're seeing council do. We have a new code of conduct that's coming into effect this year, which I think is really good for good governance. So there's a lot of really active city councilors that are working really hard, and I think as a team we're working really well together.
Oh, well, that sounds really cool. It's quite amazing. So, what made you want to become a mayor, get into this line of work?
It's a great question. I never really anticipated that I was going to try and be the mayor, but it was something I started thinking about in 2013, and I really didn't start considering it seriously until 2014. As you're aware, Benny, in my previous life, I was a lawyer. I still am a lawyer, and lawyers in a community like the size of Sault Ste. Marie, they're a bit of a canary in a coal mine. So we see things kind of starting to happen or slowing down, right? Because we see things at the beginning. We see when people are buying houses or selling houses. We see when people aren't buying houses or selling houses. We see when people are starting businesses or not starting businesses. We see when people are, if you have a business, whether you're able to collect on your bills or people aren't paying their bills. We see the early stages of a lot of economy as a lawyer. And I was really concerned with what I was seeing in 2013 and 2014. So I thought the city was going to kind of run into and have a bit of a difficult time economically, and I thought either I could take a leadership role in that, or I'd have to find some other way to support the community. So I decided to run for mayor and to take a leadership role in the community and in what was happening in our community. And we have had some challenging economic times. On the bright side, we're turning the corner. I think there's a recent news story that Tenaris is hiring more people, and we're working on some cool economic projects, and we're really hopeful that the process over at Algoma will end soon, and we'll move on from that. And we've got some more stability at the OLG. So I think there are some positive things happening, but I was concerned about where the community was, and I really wanted to make a contribution, and I thought this role was the best way to do it.
Oh, that's very inspirational.
And thank you.
Yeah. I bet you've done quite a lot of great things during your tenure, and as elections are starting to come up relatively soon, what are some of the resolutions you've seen enacted so far in your tenure?
Oh geez, I think we're on the record of being a very, very active city council. There's been lots of resolutions that have been passed. But there's a few things that I'm particularly proud of. I think that from an administrative perspective, I think it's really positive how we've changed our budgeting and our budget cycles. So I think the city council has more of an active role in budgeting. I think we've passed some policies that have saved the taxpayers money. We passed a human resource gapping policy that requires you to leave a job open for a period of time when it becomes vacant. And we've restructured City Hall, and we have less senior staff than we used to have. So some of these economic decisions have been helpful to people, I think. We decreased the water, wastewater costs. That's been very helpful to people. We've worked really hard at the PUC to try and keep our distribution costs as low as possible. So we've done pretty good on the cost side, and we've saved people some money. But on the other side, I think we've done some really positive things in that you're seeing a city council that I think is really working well together, that largely is really trying to move the community forward. Over the last 2 years, we engaged in a large-scale community planning initiative, and now we have a community planning document that we're working with our community partners like the university and the college and the school boards to try and get some initiatives and projects going that will move the community forward. So I think the city is taking a much stronger, more active leadership role in that respect, and those things all resulted from council resolutions. So there would be about a half dozen council resolutions that I think are really instrumental to where we're going, and I'm happy to have been part of them or supported them.
Well, it's very interesting. I'm really enjoying learning about the city, and I bet everybody at home will too, but we're kind of nearing the end of our little interview, so I'm going to ask a question that's definitely on the minds of everybody at home right now.
This is going to be a doozy.
Are there any extraterrestrials here you're not telling us about?
So, to my knowledge, I don't know of any. But, you know, there was a really interesting news report lately, I don't know if you saw it, that there was, the United States had a program funded through their military where they were documenting some experiences with aircraft or unidentified aircraft. But Benny, I have no knowledge personally of any extraterrestrials in Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay. All right, so, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor Provenzano, for taking some time out of your busy schedule to fill us in on what's been going on down here at the Civic Center. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Benny. It was a pleasure.
And you guys at home, have an amazing day too. And you can see Mayor Provenzano and all the other councilors in the Sioux Today City Council meeting archives.